ES Audio.
Rochelle Humes looks like she has it all. A chart-busting singing career with The Saturdays, high-profile TV presenting gigs with shows like This Morning. Her husband Marvin was in JLS and has a broadcasting career of his own. She has 3 great kids. And here's the thing. Bath Time doesn't care about glitz and glamour, but a mum has to care about her children.
When I was buying products, I couldn't understand how some products wouldn't be suitable for newborns, yet I could use it on my 3-year-old. And at the time, I would always call my kids my babies, right? So when they're 3, when they're 4, I'm like, what changes in that formula that now makes it suitable? What sort of chemical are we adding in this that's now suitable as they get older? Because for me, my 3-year-old skin is just as delicate as my 3-month-old baby.
This is how so many businesses get started, when people realise the product they want doesn't exist. So they're just going to have to make it.
Do I want it to be available in a grocer's? Where do I want it to sit? My feeling was always that I wanted it to be premium high street. I developed contacts from lots of different fields, and for me it was sort of like putting them together and trying to start out this new journey.
I'm David Morrison from the Evening Standard, and we're meeting Rochelle at the Treehouse Hotel in London's Fitzrovia to get her advice on how to be a CEO. She made sure to get tips from her kids.
My eldest, she does not mince her words. The first time the logo came back, actually, she was like, oh yeah, it's really nice. I like this, I like that, I like the colour. And then she was like, but why is there an onion on it? So I called the team. I was like, guys, she thinks the coconut looks like an onion. And now I actually agree with her. We need to rework the coconut.
Which is harder, breaking into show business or breaking into business?
Oh my gosh, that's a really good question. I'm sure equally. For me, business, I obviously started out in this industry when I was a kid, right? So I was in S Club Juniors. So for me, I feel like I've always been in and around this world, the entertainment media world. So for me, breaking into the world of business was, I say was, like it's past tense, is harder than what I already know, for sure.
So why do it then, with all the things that are going on for you? What made you think, I have to set up My Little Coco?
Do you know what? I've always been quite savvy to my industry. I got to the point where I was, face of lots of different things, and I really wanted something of my own. And when I fell pregnant with Alea, I really felt like I wanted to bridge that gap between, your baby is your world, right? So when I was pregnant, I was going through pregnancy, what I was using on me, what I was then using on her. I was really fussy about what I was putting on my newborn. And I just felt like the gap really needed to be bridged from that sort of high street price point to going into Selfridges and finding something that basically had nothing in but cost a lot more money because it was so good for you. So I didn't feel like there was anything on the high street that I, as a mum, was particularly happy with. And I'm such a product junkie. I have the most vast collection of products. If you open my cupboard under my sink, it just falls out at you, and every other cupboard. Martha's not got a look in. I'm such a product junkie. So I knew it was always something I wanted to do. It was always something I was interested in. And it was just the way that it sort of manifested itself when I was pregnant, and then when I had a little one, and it was like, do you know what? This is my thing. So then that was it. I got to work, and I have, as I said, I've had licensing deals before. I've had, propositions where I've been the face of and, employed to be an ambassador, which I still do for other companies. However, this felt different. This felt like, for me, no, this is what I'm so passionate about it. I'm going to develop this brand and, make sure it's perfect from, grassroots up. So it was really important for me that I had ownership of that. And it was also important that it wasn't like a celebrity brand. It wasn't a baby by Rochelle Humes. I just want to build something that will live on.
That's interesting to me, because a lot of people have celebrity brands and they put their name on it, they put their face on it, their signature on it, but your products don't.
If you know, which I like. And so I have people that know me that will support me, naturally invest in something that I would be behind. But I think if you don't know, I quite like that. And there's nothing better than I walk into a Boots store And I can see, particularly over the pandemic, or as we're all still wearing masks, and I have a mask on, and I always go and I call it mystery shopper. I go and have a little nose and check my stand, and I check that everything's as it should be. And there's nothing better than when I can see a mum having a little look, reading the back, there's nothing that fills me with more pride. And in the copy on the back in really small print, it says founded by Rochelle Humes, like right next to the ingredients. It's very small. So yeah, it's a really surreal feeling. And I think particularly because I've had to learn a whole new world, a world that I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted it to be, but that doesn't mean that something's going to happen instantly. I've had to sort of get to know this whole new world of business and launch a business like 2 or 3 weeks before global pandemic hit.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to you about that, sure.
So it's been a big learning curve, that's for sure. I've known contacts, I've had several different contacts over the years. So I spoke to, like, for example, lawyers and I'm like, okay, so I want to do this. So I've heard I need to like trademark this name, and then I sort of come up against it a little bit because I'm trying to trademark the words My Little Coco, which feature the word cocoa, which Chanel had a big problem with me at the start. I was like, I'm just a small, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not going to bite enough what I could choose. I had to then go and pitch it to them and say it's not a competitor, and so there was a whole, as I was, and that was after the first month, but they liked me and they got it and they accepted it was not a competitor. I'm like, it's short for coconut because we use organic coconut oil in everything. So there was a lot of that. And yeah, I kind of just sort of literally as that started from the ground up, I'd had like a licensing deal before where I did like a body glow range, and the company that produced and manufactured that, I knew that I loved their work and their standards. So I went to them and said, look, I want to develop a baby brand, and I want it to grow to be a lifestyle brand. Could you help me? I want to, look at some formulas, and I know they've got amazing chemists, and so that's how I started that side of it. So I think I developed contacts from lots of different fields, and for me it was sort of like putting them together and trying to start out this new journey.
And then the pandemic hit. How did you keep going?
We had a really good first week or two. And then obviously the news that everybody got at the same time, running every business, working wherever you are, it was just the whole sort of wheels fell off of the world, didn't it? But yeah, essentially, when I first developed this and, was considering where I want to retail it, if I want to retail it, do I just want to stock it off my own e-commerce? But actually, it would be really nice to be readily available on the high street. Where do I want it to go? I met with lots of different retailers, and, it was a sort of real journey and a real sort of me mulling over that for quite a long time. Do I want it to be available in a grocer's? Where do I want it to sit? And my feeling was always that I wanted it to be premium high street. And I met with Boots and a great team of women. They got it instantly. I've met with other retailers that didn't really get it and tried to remove certain products. And I was like, no, this is it. There's nothing, I've developed it. It's definitely done. You don't have power over that, but do you want it or don't you? And
that's a good way of
there's no other way this is going to work. And Boots instantly got it. And do you know what? I kind of had this really good feeling about the team when I met them, and they just really got behind it, and they were as excited as I was about it. And for some of them, it was like, one of my buyers at Boots were new, and they really had a chance to sort of prove their worth on the team, and I was new. So it just was a really nice moment. And then obviously the pandemic hits. We were all like, okay, this is all right. How long is it going to be? Is it going to be a couple of weeks at this point? We don't know. Let's just, we'll get out of it the other side. But I think there was just something that was supposed to be, because Boots was actually one of the only shops that stayed open. I think it was like grocers, wasn't it? Supermarkets and your Boots, because it was a chemist, because it was a pharmacy.
Yeah.
So there was something that was actually like, do you know what? There was part of this was supposed to be, because do you remember when you could run into a Boots and it would be like, oh my gosh, I'm in a shop. And yes, I've got a mask and I've got my gloves on, I've got everything else on. But it was nice to just look at stuff. So actually people had really, bizarrely, the pandemic should have been the thing that should have floored us, like not even a month into our launch. But actually, I think people were really sort of investing in that time. You might have gone into Boots to get your essentials, but yeah, you had the time to shop, and it sort of became the time where people were focused on their phones, weren't they, and focused on Instagram. So they might have seen something on Instagram, and when they went into Boots, they had a real good look at it. So I think, bizarrely, I think we sort of built up like a sort of core customer during that time, which was obviously never the intention. It wasn't anyone's intention. But I think, weirdly, the stars aligned somewhere, because for the fact that I wasn't going to retail it with anyone, then I decided to. And then that was the only shop that could stay open. It was like someone wants this to work somewhere. Someone does.
You've got this product. It's been basically a labour of love. And I want to talk about how it was created. And then it's out there in front of the public, in front of people you've never met, might never meet. And they're going to be giving their reactions. Isn't that, I mean, is it exciting? I'd be terrified.
Yeah, I think for me, it wasn't that, because that's my life, right?
Yeah.
I make TV shows. Is anyone going to watch it? We think it's good, but is anyone going to tune in? We're doing a podcast now. Are people going to have an opinion on it? That's from back in the day, from being in the bands. We've got a single out. Do people think it's a good song, or do think it's, I think it's awful? That never really, there's always the worry there, but I don't bog myself down with that too much, because that's always been my life. I always have to sort of hope someone's going to like it somewhere. And I'm always used to that. So yes, you always get that sort of butterfly feeling. The thing for me wasn't, were they going to be interested in it? Because I thought, do you know what? I've got a following. I know, when I look into my engagement and who looks to me and my audience, I know a lot of them are young mums. So, I know that there's an interest in it, as it were. However, are they going to buy it again?
Yeah.
And that's always my thing. Like, they might try it once, like I do. Like, oh my God, I'm going to try that face cream because it looks amazing, and I've heard it's really good. But is it going to be good enough till I get to the point where, oh my goodness, this has run out, I need to run and get another one? And I think for me, that's what's always important, and that's what's testament to the product. But it's, for a lot of families, it's become, and even when I'm like looking at people on Instagram and they're like bathing their kids, and they might not even spoke about it, but I can just see it on the background in the back of someone's video. I'm like, oh my goodness me, like, it just, every time it gives me a buzz.
Let's have a break. And while the ads are on, have a look at how to win £25,000 for your business with the Evening Standard and AXA Startup Angel. There are 6 chances to win, including 2 top prizes of £25,000 plus mentoring from some of the UK's leading businesses. Go to standard.co.uk/AXA Startup Angel for details on how to enter before July 17th, 2022.
I don't know whether it's the right word, but it must be quite vindicating for you, because I was reading up on how My Little Coco was formed, and it was, you wanted a product that had this in it, but not this in it, and you wanted it to work for not just the kid, but you wanted to be able to use it yourself if you wanted to, and it's like quite a high bar that you set for yourself. And then you looked at it and went, this doesn't exist, so I'm going to have to make it.
Yeah, I think when I was buying products, I couldn't understand how some products wouldn't be suitable for newborns. I could use it on my 3-year-old.
Yeah.
And at the time, I would always call my kids my babies, right? So when they're 3, when they're 4, I'm like, so what changes in that formula that now makes it suitable? What sort of chemical are we adding in this that's now suitable as they get older? Because for me, my 3-year-old skin is just as delicate as my 3-month-old baby. So my thing was for it to be suitable for newborns. And that is what people are going to see on the bottle. So they know that a newborn can use it. And then if it's suitable for a newborn, I can use it. My other children can use it. Particularly when you have more than one child and you've got a growing family. I don't want to go, oh, this is theirs because that's theirs. Half the time they're all in the bath together. So, I think the children know, it's not me. Actually, my bath's not that big. It kind of, the whole idea and the whole feeling for me obviously we started off with cosmetics, products and toiletries, but for me, we're really sort of evolving into a real family lifestyle brand. And for me, it's just being a brand you can trust and making parents' lives easy. And I think that's, not having to question it. I just want to be the brand that parents feel, oh, My Little Coco, I've done that. It'll be good. I'll grab it. And that's the sort of trust that I want to be able to, get from our customers.
Yeah. Was that always the plan, or did you think, do you know what, we've got something here? Or did you realise you had that trust from people, so maybe we could try some other things?
Do you know what? I'm just that person that's always, right, okay, we've done this, we've now this, what's next?
Yeah.
And I know our formulations are spot on. I know our chemists are amazing. I know that we get them tested in the best way. And so I know that we do that well. So if I'm like, okay, let's work on this new scent, I know the level of I know we've got that sewn up. So I'm like so comfortable with that. But now I'm like, okay, so how about if we actually did this? And, I'll be trying things. I wish I could find one of these that do this, but with a bit of this and a bit of that. And I think they often say that a true entrepreneur didn't reinvent the wheel, they just made it better, right? That's really what I'm trying to do, and make parents I am a parent. I travel with children. My whole life revolves around them. My working day consists of, okay, I've got to get back for the school run, or I've got to do the school run before I've come here. My whole life is a focus group now. That's basically what's happened. And it all started with the chair and with the weaning stuff, because I was like, why has no one developed tableware for babies that is aesthetically pleasing? Why does it all have a truck on it, or a lorry, or a unicorn? Can't it just look all right in your house?
Yeah.
Do we get a say in this at this point? Because it's often at the stage where babies can't talk and tell you that I want the one with the lorry. Well, no, they're just learning how to eat. So that's not really, they don't have that opinion yet. And you're going to come to that point where all they want is Spider-Man or My Little Pony. So why don't we just have it looking nice whilst we can?
But that's the thing with your things. The weaning bowl there, I mean, they look lovely. You could have it, we're recording a hotel right now, but you could have that as a little bowl right here in front of you. And nobody would even notice it, would they?
Because at that stage in your journey of your child, it is basically part of the rest of your tableware. It just bugged me that everything, I'm like, why is no one doing this nicely? I don't understand it. Why is it not practical? And why isn't it just simple? So that was my thing, neutral tones and making it aesthetically pleasing. And I think I've had so many mums like, oh my goodness, thank you. I don't mind if someone pops over for a cup of tea and all of the stuff's all out on the side, because it's actually all right. It's not all mismatched and it's not crazy. So it was nice to see that other mums were as neurotic about that as well.
So you say everyone's basically part of your focus group now, but when you were creating My Little Coco, was that kind of a solo driven thing, or did you involve family with that too? No,
not first off. Because I knew exactly what I wanted and I didn't really want any outside noise, I involved my mum. My mum drew the logo for me. That's her. I've got it actually on my phone. I'll find it for you in a minute of her. My mum basically did all my art homework at school. She's not an artist, but she's just really, really good. I was like, Mum, can you just write as if you're a child? And she did. And then I sent it to the team, and then they however, I've got the most amazing design team and digital team that I'm such a technophobe. So whenever I'm like, right, I need this, I need it to look like this, I need it to have a Hessian background, because I'm obsessed with Hessian. Don't know if you noticed. And I need this, I need the logo here, and they just always make it. I know what I want, but I'm just not good on a computer. If I was good on a computer, I'd be lethal. I'd be awake all night actually if I was good on the computer, because there'd be no stopping me. So I literally sent them a picture of what my mum had drawn. I had all the kids colouring stuff out, and I was like, go on, off you go. And she did lots of different ones, and I'm like, no, that's the one. And they took it, and then I suppose, however you do it. And that was that. And then, so it's nice because it's been a real sort of family product. All of the products first get tested on my children and myself. And it's kind of, it really is from me and my family. And that's that's our little saying, from our little family to yours. But it absolutely is. Everything has come from something that I feel is missing, needed, loved. And
But have the kids ever said, "Mummy, this is not good"?
Oh my goodness, 100%. Like, especially my eldest, she does not mince her words. The first time the logo came back, actually, she was like, "Oh yeah, it's really nice. I like this. I like that. I like the colour." And then she was like, "But why is there an onion on it?" So I called the team. I was like, "Guys, she thinks the coconut looks like an onion." And now I actually agree with her. We need to rework the coconut. So yeah, we've definitely had moments like that for sure. But it's really nice because obviously it's, ultimately, it's a family brand, but it starts first and foremost from the child. So it's really great to get her feedback. So she comes and she'll do, like, whenever we do photo shoots, we do it on a school day off. So she'll come and she's a creative director. Yeah. And it's particularly, goodness me, like the early shoots that we did, like, there wasn't a great deal of budget. And, I'm roping all my friends' kids over to my house. And, I've got a room in the back and we put a Colorama backdrop up and we're, I'm like, right, yes, you've got curly hair, you need to come over, right, can she come? And Marvin's there blowing bubbles to make babies laugh and putting Baby Shark on. We've all definitely, it's definitely a family business.
So is this business enough, or is there a secret serial entrepreneur in there?
I don't think at the minute I've got any more to give. I don't think there's any more of me that I could pull in another direction. It truly is like, and I think, and I'm a believer in putting all of me into something to make it the best it can be. So that's one, who knows in the future, I might feel, I might try this, and it might be something completely different and worlds apart, because I always think, why not? Life's too short. If you want to try something, go for it. But in terms of business, like I feel at capacity at the minute, for sure. Yeah.
And what is the future for My Little Coco? Where are you heading with it next?
It's actually funny you should say that. I just completed our 5-year brand plan literally yesterday. So that's done now.
What's in it?
Other categories. There you go. That told you something about telling you too much. But yeah, I just hope for just real sort of it just to keep evolving in the way that it has done. I'm honestly so proud of it, and it's for sure my biggest accomplishment, starting this and not knowing half of the stuff that I know now I just thought you put something in a shop and it might sell, but I didn't know there's it's so intricate and there's so many different pieces to the puzzle. So I just don't think I could take any more on now, because I feel like I've got 3 children, a husband, which sort of sometimes comes under that children category too. Other stuff too. This is like, I could not have telly or not have any of the other stuff, and My Little Coco would be job enough, But I've always sort of, made a rod for my own back, and I've always had such a love for telly. So that's never, I would never give that up, because I enjoy it so much, and it's nice to sort of have those breaks away from the business to go back and be, be on your A game. So yeah, but everyone keeps saying to me, do you think you'll have more children? Do you think you'll get another dog? Do you think I'm like, if you want me to be here, talk to you when I've done the school run, fed the dog, had a team meeting and whatever else.
Get yourself over to mylittlecoco.co.uk to learn more about Rochelle's company. And for all the latest news, interviews and features, go to standard.co.uk/business. How to Be a CEO is back on Monday morning. Give us a follow on your podcast provider and start your week with us.